guys, welcome to Crochet Wonderland, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet a coin pouch. It looks like this. I've already made one before. It's like you open the latch and inside there's a little space to keep things inside, and then you can also make a little loop to hang it on and tie it on. But today I'm going to be teaching you how to make it a little bit smaller, but I can teach you a pattern on how to make it bigger. So first off, you're going to start with the magic ring. To make a magic ring, you wrap yarn around your finger and then wrap it around your middle finger. If you want a big one, you wrap it around both fingers, but you can wrap it around your middle finger. Wrap it towards the right side and wrap it towards an X. In the top right loop, insert your hook and then twist it clockwise, and then yarn over and pull through. Remember, when you yarn over, turn your hook to the left. Now we're going to make 6 single crochets. To do that, you're going to insert, yarn over, pull through, and you have 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops, and you just made a single crochet. Now you're going to make 5 more. Insert, yarn over, and pull through. Keep doing that. Turn your hook to the left. 5 and 6. So I've made 6 single crochets. Now you're going to take the tail and pull it tightly, and then on the first stitch you are going to make a slip stitch. Yeah, there, and you're going to yarn over to make a slip stitch, then pull through your loop, just like that. And you made a circle. Now we're going to start an increase round. An increase means you're going to make 2 single crochets, or the stitch that you're using, in 1 stitch. So this is how it's like. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. But don't move to the next stitch. On the same stitch, I'm going to make another single crochet. And now you're going to keep doing that until you reach the end. So it's insert, yarn over, through. Sometimes the same stitch is kind of hard to get into because the hole might be a little small, but once you keep doing that, you'll get used to it, especially when you start amigurumi. So just keep doing those increases. Make sure to check. You'll see a tiny V, like that. Okay, I've made 6 stitches of 2 single crochets in each, and now you can just slip stitch, and you got your increase round done. It looks like a little tiny circle. Okay, now in the next stitch, let's insert our hook. Make sure not to insert in this stitch. This is just going to give you an extra stitch. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now, this is going to be called the 1 single crochet, then increase round. So as we just made 1 single crochet, you are going to make an increase in the next stitch. So increase, which is 2 stitches, and I'll show you how it looks. So it's supposed to look like that. 2 stitches and 1 stitch. Now you can insert your slip stitch marker. Okay, now I got my stitch marker, and I'm going to insert in my stitch. I'd recommend to get a color that stands out from your yarn so it looks nice. So I put in the wrong stitch. So it looks nice and it stands out so you can find it easily. But it's really fine, doesn't matter that much. So we're going to make 1 single crochet, and then in our next stitch, our increase like we did before. And now just keep doing that until you reach the end. Okay, now I'm on my last stitch. And my last stitch is an increase. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch onto our first stitch. So take your stitch marker out and place your hook, yarn over, and pull through all loops. And there we go. Now you are going to get your hook and place one single crochet in the next stitch. And now you're going to insert your stitch marker. And you're going to have the pattern of 2 single crochets and then 1 increase. So not 2 single crochets in one stitch, then make 1 single crochet, go to the next stitch, make your second single crochet, and then in the third stitch, put an increase. So it's every third stitch an increase, and then the first and second will just be 1 single crochet. That's how I like to refer when there's a pattern like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3. So this should be my increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2. And lastly, insert inner stitch. A increase. Now we're going to slip stitch and chain 1. First take your stitch marker actually. Chain 1. And cut the yarn. You can leave a long loop, but you can also just cut it off like me, because some people like putting a long loop and just sewing, but sometimes it might not be long enough. So following this exact same pattern, make 2. Okay, now I made 2 of my circles, and yes, I put a smiley face. But now we can sew these 2 together, and we're going to leave a space up. And if one of yours is a little bit tighter or smaller, it's fine, just go with it. Now we're going to get our yarn and our darning needles. So hooks aside, stitch markers aside. Now we can get a pretty short, but not that short, darning needle. Then the tip, just twist the yarn really tightly so it becomes small, and then you can insert your darning needle through the yarn. And now go to any stitch you want and go to the back of another one. So both front sides are facing. And now you're going to insert through both stitches. Make sure you leave a really long tail because you're going to be sewing this through the whole thing. So now we just keep inserting through both stitches. But when I'm halfway through, I will meet back to you because you should stop when you're about halfway through. See you. Okay, so now I'm about halfway through. I'm just going to sew a teeny bit more because you're gonna need a pretty big gap for your coin. And if you're at a part where your darning needle's not gonna fit anymore, just take it out, use your hook. It's way easier that way instead of struggling with your darning needle. So this is the gap that I'm going to use, and actually I might even take one out. And there we go. We sewed, and and you can pull it tightly to make it really nice and tight. Now you can use my special knot trick where you grab your yarn and put your finger through it to make a loop, and then you pull the yarn through the stitch like that, so it's like a little loop. So you hook through the stitch, get the yarn over, and pull the whole strand of yarn through, and there we go. And then you can just hide the yarn tail inside your coin pouch, and then you can cut it off. And there we go. So this is that one. This is the one I made before, which is bigger. This is mine. If you wanted to make yours much bigger, then just follow the pattern. After 2 double crochets, and after 2 single crochets, then an increase, you would just do 3 single crochets and then an increase in the next round. It's simple like that. And now I'm gonna make my special knot trick with the other yarn tail, and yarn over, pull through. And now how I made a heart for this one and a latch, but I'm gonna make a circle for today, and I'm gonna make it pretty smaller because this is way smaller. But if you wanted to make a heart, you wanna learn to do it, I will post a video separately on how to crochet heart, so you can just learn how to do that and put it on. So now I'm going to just pull my yarn through and cut that off. Okay, now don't need those people use that later. And right now we're going to be making our circle, which is basically this thingy. Let's make a magic ring. Pretty sure you know how to do that. If you're still confused, I've made a video on how to make a magic ring really slowly. And for this one, I'm probably just going to make like 3 single crochets. Maybe 4. And now we're going to close the tail. And if your hook can't fit into the stitch, I really recommend a good old trick where you insert your darning needle through and then pull your darning needles up so the stitch gets nice and loose. And insert, then make a slip stitch, yarn over, pull through. Okay, now we made a circle, but you could make this a little bit bigger, but the next row would be way too big. So you're gonna chain 1, and it doesn't matter how many stitches you do. I prefer you just do like in any stitch you see, even if it's like a stitch you wouldn't crochet on, and just make a slip stitch on that stitch. You'd think a slip stitch wouldn't make a difference, but it does. Makes a huge difference. Makes the height pretty big. Keep it loose, don't tighten the slip stitch after, otherwise it will not make a difference. Keep it loose like me. Oops, forgot a stitch. Now you're just going to okay, now you're gonna slip stitch onto your stitch. Yarn over, pull through, and there we go. You've made your circle. Chain 1 and fasten off. Now I'm going to tie a knot at the back with our magic ringtail and our just cut tail. Now we're going to cut those off. There we go. And our little button. Now we're going to make our latch, which is going to be really easy, and it's called double chain. I've also posted a video on that, really slow and in depth, on how to crochet that. So if you want to learn that, just go to my channel and watch another video. It's called Basic Stitches Part 2. Now you're going to make a slip knot far from your tail, just not that far, but just like kind of far. This is how much I'm doing it. And now I'm going to, with this long tail that we have, gonna wrap the yarn around my hook and then yarn over both of those loops and keep repeating that pattern. It's really beautiful stitch and it's super easy and fun to make. Okay, now I made the whole thing, and it's perfect. And now I can slip stitch into the loop. The first loop, like that. And now we're gonna chain one and fasten off. Pull our loop, hook, and pull it in an outward direction. And you made your latch and your little button. Now on any side you can add the latch. Try it on at different stitches and leave your yarn tail so you can just pull it through and the latch will just latch on it. And now you can just pull it and then just put your button and just test if it'll work. If it does, congrats, you did it. If it doesn't, keep trying and find a new place. And then you can get your hook, pull the yarn tail through, and you can pull through the next one. You can use a darning needle if you want to, but I'm going to use my hook. Okay, now I'm going to make my special knot. On the stitch above, and yarn over, pull through, and then I like pulling it through stitches so it stays. And it turns out this one okay, there we go. We put our latch. Now we're going to sew a button, and I'd actually recommend a darning needle for this one. So twist your yarn, pull it through the loop, and put your button. And then you're going to pull through. and I'll meet you once I sew this on. Okay, now I sewed it on and I wanted to tie it. Keep the bottom a little loose and flappy so your latch can match on. Now cut your tail, pull your tail and tight both of them and just pull it. Now I knot it at the top. And then I would probably just get a darning needle. Probably just take my hook actually and pull through. Take this one and pull it through. And then I would cut both of those off. Okay, there we go. You just made your coin pouch. Hope you like it. And now I'm gonna get some coins to actually show you that it'll work. A few coins can go in. If you wanna get like gum or something, this would be a little perfect pouch. But if you don't wanna hold it, you wanna hang it somewhere, you maybe don't have a keychain hook, what you can do is that you can just take a little yarn and then any stitch you want, you can just insert it through and tie it up into a bow or like a knot or whatever you want. So you can just tie it up wherever you want, like that. And it's adorable. And I hope you loved my crochet video on how to crochet a coin pouch.